So now let's finish off the cabinets here on this side by putting a set of upper cabinets above these base cabinets, and then adding then in maybe some fur down here to kind of tie everything together. But let's put the upper cabinets in first and see what happens. So to add the upper cabinets, what we're going to do is go into Insert, of course, and load a family. And then we're going to go into case US Period Casework, and then you'll see that there's a folder here called uh, wall cabinets. And then we want a double door wall cabinet that looks something like this. Okay, and we're going to say open that. And since this is intended to be a wall hung cabinet, if we go in here, we'll see upper cabinets, and I've calculated this. We can do a dimension real quick, uh, but it should be 10 feet. Uh, oh, 12 foot. Okay. So anyway, a 30-inch cabinet, if we put a 30-inch cabinet in here 4 times or 5 times, it should work. So we're going to throw that in. Since it is a wall cabinet, the base cabinets are set to sit on the floor, so we have to put them in through a floor plan so that we can see the floor plane. But here, since these are wall-mounted cabinets, we can just drag them over and set them on the wall. And so I'm just going to put that in and join it. So let's do that. And then once again, align it, not join it. Uh, so I'm aligning that to that. We could do that. And then I'm going to copy it. So, and then I'm going to click multiple, which is set on multiple. And then let's see here. So this is 2 foot 6 inches, 2 foot 6 inches. Let's see, this should work out. Okay, and it does. And so now we have the upper cabinets in here. Uh, but I don't really like the way that's looking. It doesn't look finished. As a matter of fact, we'll stretch this out just a little bit. It'll distort it a little bit, but we can see you can see how distorted it is. So it's not a good thing to do to make a really wide. It's a wide angle lens then, and everything becomes kind of distorted. But you can kind of see it might be better to look at it. Well, I think it's most obvious in perspective. Uh, but if we go into our elevation here, we can we really can't see it. Maybe if we shade it, we can see, and that doesn't really help for a whole lot. But anyway, I'm going to show you. So I'll go back to hidden line, and I'm going to use in this place architecture. I'm going to use a component, what is called a component, a model in place component. And when you use a model in place component, remember that there was another type of massing component that we could do in massing and site. Okay, in place mass. But what we want to do for this is, since this is a component inside the model, we're going to use model in place. And then we're going to go down here, and this should be structural framing. Okay, even though technically it's not structural, it is going to be made out of steel studs and covered in gypboard and that kind of thing. So we're just going to go with structural framing. I guess we could call it for a part of the casework uh, if we were going to make it out of wood or something like that, finished wood. But we'll just right now call it structural framing. And we're going to call this kitchen fur down. And the next thing we want to do is set the plane that, well, select, we're going to do an extrusion. And then when we click on extrusion, it's want to know, well, what is the work plane? What are we working off of in our extrusion as we extrude towards us? What is the zero base for that? And I'm going to pick a plane, okay? I'm going to say okay, and then I'm going to come over here and I don't want to use that side of that wall. That wouldn't work. I'm going to tab, and then I get the back wall. Okay, you can kind of see it a little bit there. Okay, so there's the, I'm going to do it again, tab, and there's the back wall, and that's what I want to build this off of. So I'm going to select that. Okay, and now I'm going to just throw in a rectangle here. So I'm going to snap to the end point of that and go up to approximately 1 foot. Let's go up to 1 foot there. Okay, and I can modify this, pull it over and snap it to there. And then it's going to start at 0 because it's going to start from that plane that I selected, which is the back wall. And then I want it to come out probably somewhere, let's just guess right now, 24 inches. I think I want it to come out further so that it covers also the top of the refrigerator, but we'll see here in just a minute. So I'm going to select that. And then if I go back to finish floor, of course we won't be able to see it. I'm going to go ahead and finish the geometry. We won't be able to see it because our cut plane is cutting through. Our cut plane is cutting through that. And so the next thing I'm going to do, let's cut that out. Okay, we're going to cut that out. So we are on the floor plan. The next thing we want to do then is to get a look at where it is. And maybe a good way to do that is to look here. Okay. Once again, is it going to come out and cover my refrigerator, the top of my refrigerator? Not really. Okay. So maybe I want it to come out a little bit further, maybe as far as, you know, and so to be able to see it, I can extend. Probably don't want to extend the view unless I do it temporarily. Well, this is my working view. Let's go ahead and tab this. Nope. Oh, let's go through. Easiest thing to do is to come up here and do it through a ceiling plan. Okay, and so there is that, and it is the width of that. So okay, it works. That'll be perfect. Okay, it'll give me something over my cabinets, and it'll close that out, and it does look good. Okay, so that's the upper cabinets. The next thing we're going to do is put in some furniture into the next video, and then the video after that is how to set up a sheet.